LMI and the team at RiskCoach are extremely pleased to be bringing you our latest system upgrade, allowing you to take your client presentations to a whole new level with our tailored reports. Now, as the name would suggest, the system now allows you to tailor our insurance risk report to your client or potential clients' existing insurance program and current insurance needs, assisting you in explaining the need for given classes of insurance to your client, protecting their business, all while saving you time and protecting your professional indemnity. Enough talk, let's take a look. Okay, so what we do is once we've selected our client's industry, we can go over and click the report button over in the top left-hand corner of the screen. So in this case, we've selected a restaurant operation for our client who's a restaurateur. Okay, so now this RiskCoach report screen has an additional button. So it will default to that quick report that's been out for some time, but now it's joined by the tailored report. So you can select that, and what it's going to do is it's going to give you 3 buckets and the 14 classes of insurance and the rating that RiskCoach produces for that particular given industry. Okay, so now what you can do is start dropping those classes and dragging and dropping those classes into each of those 3 buckets. The first is recommended, classes the insured should look at taking out in addition to their existing insurance program. The next is currently insured, but still requiring review. And then finally, for consideration, a bit of a catch-all for classes that may or may not be needed by that client, but regardless should still be raised by way of completeness of our discussions with that insured. Okay, so we start dragging and dropping each of those classes through. So once we've now dropped each of those classes of insurance into each of those 3 buckets, we can go through and start leaving our own commentary to complement that existing content there. So what we do is we click on the text box, up pops that explanation and description of the risk and that class of insurance with the rating that RiskCoach generates. And over here, we have our advisor's comments box. So all we need to do is click in there and type away. And as you can see, I've just added a quick comment there saying business interruption is a class that I strongly recommend that could be explored this year as their business is so heavily dependent upon its location. So a little bit of information that I've just typed up there. Save, and now it has been added to that report. It is important to note that every single thing I do will be saved, so you're not going to lose where you are. You can actually access your reports from your dashboard, so you can jump out and come back in should the phone ring or what have you. Okay, so you go through, you can leave comments on any one that you so choose. It is not mandatory, and then move on through to the report to be reviewed. Just like before, it's going to tailor that report with your company logo, your insured's name, your own user profile is going to be added in there. So a little bit framing you up, making you the highlight in that starting point, further tailoring that report for you. Why partner with your business? A little bit of information there, all pulled from that user profile section. A section on under insurance, which explains the effects of average on a claim should a loss occur that's not fully insured. That's going to appear for all our Australian users. And then finally, that hazard assessment. But now, what's changed is it's all bundled and grouped into those 3 buckets. More so, you can also reorder things based on the order you'd like them to be raised with your client. So really, really easy to tailor how it's all going to lay out. Okay, you can see here, it's going to highlight blue where there is commentary, and you can click on any of those, adding additional comments or new comments, or even just removing things that you maybe have reconsidered. So it's all able to be re-edited at that point. You can also move things up into a new bucket if you so choose. Then scrolling down, you can see a little explanation as to what each one of those buckets mean. That's all tailored for your client. It's going to give you that risk assessment, hazard index content that RiskCoach generates specific to their industry. And then complementing that, where you have entered it, you're going to see your advisor's comments. If you haven't entered anything, it's not going to show at all. So you're not going to have these empty boxes throughout your report. It's just nice and clean with what's been entered. Scrolling down, you can add in your significant exposures. You can add in your risk checklist questions. In this case, because I'm selecting business interruption and cyber, what I'll do is I'll select business interruption and cyber, and it's going to bring in those risk checklist questions specific for that industry to further aid my discussions with my client and get a bit more information out. That can now be downloaded by clicking save, and you can email that off to your client and save it to your client file, or alternatively print it off. It prints off really nicely and you can take it out with you in your next client meeting. So a great way of showing professionalism. Of course, as before, it is all tailorable to your company's corporate style guide as well. So if you do want to change it, you can do so. As I said, everything is saved. So if you do get called away, next time you jump into RiskCoach, just go to the dashboard. There's a new little box here by the name of Tailored Reports. Click on that and then select the report that you want to jump back into. And of course, you can see all my comments are still there. It really couldn't be simpler. So guys, get out there, use the system, win some new business, further develop those existing relationships, and more importantly, watch this space because we've got piles more features yet to come.